Well. We have the H1 Nova here today by Olight. We're going to take a look at this powerful flashlight headlamp combination. I'm James Walton, gear guru for SHTFpreparedness.com. We're going to look at the magnetic tail cap. We have like I said, a dual purpose flashlight and headlamp combo. This can be detached. And we have 7 unique settings on the Olight H1 Nova. So before we get started, make sure you subscribe below so you can get all of the reviews that are published now and that will be published in the future, okay? And we're gonna dig into the H1 Nova and we'll see what she's all about, all right? Stay tuned. So let's talk H1 Nova by Olight. For those of you not familiar with the Olight brand, they do tremendous EDC flashlights. They do some seriously powered up, I think they have like a 5,000 lumen flashlight out there. They do great little, I think it's called the PL Mini. They have some great lights, okay? They put out great quality, high lumen lights, excellent for EDC, really compatible with those of you who wanna recharge, you know, and don't wanna be stuck in the world of buying batteries all the time. The H1 Nova comes in this little case here, this little hard top carrying case, zipper. It's got a little, I don't know if you want to carbine that thing or what you want to do with it. We'll get into what's inside there and some of the features that go along with it. But first, I thought we'd take a look at the light itself so you could get an idea of exactly what it is this thing is all about. It is a standalone flashlight, the H1 Nova, right? So it's an interesting shaped light and it's kind of stuck in here. Let's look at the headband. It's stuck into this headband, as you can see by this sort of rubberized enclosure, which this thing gets its grip on that light. It can be a pain to put in and a pain to pull out. And you know what? That's one of those things I'm not really heartbroken about. I don't want my headlamp to be at all a concern if I need to use it. If I need to use it, the last thing I want to worry about is this thing falling out. So very comfortable headband, right? It's sort of a soft, almost furry feel on the inside, coated, easy to adjust. This guy right here is super easy to tighten, super easy to loosen up depending on what you need. I have it set for me sort of the way I want it right now, so I'm not going to play with it too much. But this is one part of the H1 Nova headlamp sort of combination. I think you'd have a real hard time trying to find another light to fix that, or to fit that rather. This is the actual light, the H1 Nova. As we mentioned earlier, magnetic tail cap. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that on anywhere. You might be able to see it there. Very convenient. We'll look at that a little later. A multitude of settings in this little light. Really a high quality EDC light if you're not concerned with having an EDC light that you're going to use tactically, right? So if you're not looking for that sort of, you know, this number with a button on the back, see, because this guy has a button on the top. So it almost gives you this kind of different look for a flashlight, like sort of like a mace can is what it reminds me of, right? The can of mace. Small CR123 battery powers this guy. Okay, the batteries themselves are rechargeable, but you don't get anything to recharge them with this model. So yeah, that's the 2 main pieces and parcels of the Olight H1 Nova headlamp. I want to get into sort of what this thing can do and some of the attachments that go along with it. One of the things I want to do is show you how this thing can be converted. Okay, so really the main feature outside of the instructions inside of this bag or inside of this case is a clip for your pocket, right? So you have the pocket clip, comes on this sort of foam guy here. You could probably tie this onto a hook and use it as a popper if you needed to, if you needed to or wanted to. And this guy fits into the same slot here that you would put this in, right? So these rubberized guys here that fix that thing in place, they go into these little joints like that, and this fits right in there also, this little pocket clip. And then you have something, right? So now we have something that could slide into a pocket and really could become part of an EDC. Maybe this becomes secondary depending on how you're going to use the light. But for the rest of the video, I think we'll look at it in this light, really. We're going to take a look at the many features with really the many settings. There are many features that come with this thing. I mean, we talked about the magnetic tail cap, 7 different settings that we're going to rifle through, and the fact that it is one of the only lights on the market that comes in a combo like this. So let's look at settings, right? Because this guy has a lot and it does a lot, right? So a single button press is going to basically turn your light on. If you hold the button down, then you see we'll go through this sort of different range of lights, right? And that's going to range between 8 and 500 lumens. This light's going to top out at a turbo setting of 500 lumens, okay? So if you want to go that route, you've got 3 settings right there, okay? Like I said, I think it runs from 8 to 500 lumens, those 3 settings. You hold the light, or you hold the switch rather, and you're going to get a moonlight setting, right? And anybody who does any reading, camping, that type of thing, they're in love with the moonlight setting. You got to have it. It's not a bad thing to have on the nightstand either, to be honest with you. So moonlight setting, very cool. Press it again and it'll jump you right back into, or hold it, and it'll jump you right back into that same sort of sequential settings. Okay, so back to the off position. We hold it again, you'll see the moonlight turn on and then turn off. This is a lock mode, which is great if you're concerned about light discipline, right? If you're worried about your light at nighttime, not being noticed, not pressing it and it going off like crazy. I have a light like that it stays on high, the button is on the side, and I hit it sometimes and it lights the whole night up. So if you're really worried about light discipline, something like that, maybe you're predator hunting at night or whatever it could be, this setting makes it so that when you depress, you get that moonlight setting. But only when you depress. It's not going to turn on. Only when you depress do you get that, right? And it's, like I said, it's the lightest of light. This might be actually that 8 lumen setting I was talking about. Hold it, we'll go back through the shuffle again. Another really cool set of features with this guy is you can sort of tell it what to do with a handful of press combinations, right? So if I press it twice, it's going to jump right to turbo mode no matter where it is. Say we had it on moonlight, say we had it on the lower setting. If I press it twice, it's going to jump to that 500 lumens immediately. It's going to blind you. You see? And I really like that. That's pretty cool. Press once, turns off, okay? Finally, the final setting on this thing, which is very interesting, very sort of survival-esque. Press 3 times for an SOS, okay? And it's a hands-free SOS. So 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna get an SOS signal that's gonna play pretty much indefinitely until your battery runs out. So this can be used in so many ways. I can think of some very scary situations where this could come into play, but just a cool little setting, you know? So the Olight chock full of settings. I really like the fact that you can jump right to turbo mode. I love the ability to be able to lock this thing down so that I don't have to worry about hitting it by accident. You know, we get it to this depress mode, and there you have it. The H1 Nova by Olight. Very impressed. I'm gonna keep this low light setting since we're doing this headlamp. What can I say? Headlamp, flashlight all in one, right? The light that detaches. There's a clip accessory. It can go in the belt or in the pocket even as a EDC flashlight. Survivor, prepper, handyman, camper, adventurer. If you need light, this guy's the way to go, okay? The magnetic tail cap is another great feature. You can attach it to various points that are metal and it becomes a light that most other flashlights aren't capable of being. The functionality, the fact that we bounce back and forth from light to flashlight, the numerous settings, it only goes to 500 lumens. That may be a deal breaker for you, or you may have another light that's more powerful than that, but that's about the only limitation of the H1 Nova. We're only getting up to 500 lumens. That's the max that it's going to put out, but it has several settings to put out many different light styles and lumen brightnesses. If you like the H1 Nova, there's an affiliate link below. I want you to click on that affiliate link. If you make a purchase using that link, a small portion of the sales will go to this channel. All right, it will cost you no extra money, but a small portion of sales will come to this channel. We'll be able to make more videos, including more types of gear like this. Leave a comment below, like, subscribe to the channel, click the bell, the whole thing. If you have a piece of gear that you want to see reviewed, leave it in the comments below, right? There's no reason why we can't start getting behind gear that you want to see and reviewing that as well. So I think that's about it, folks. The H1 Nova, very impressed. It'll definitely make its way into my pack, and we'll see you next time.